39 weeks, I went in for a visit. I had been leaking, and I was like, I don't know what's happening. It's my first pregnancy.
Yeah.
So they were like, oh, come on in. I was like, you're supposed to see me Friday. It was a Monday. So I go in and the doctor's like, checks me out. She's like, oh, you're 4 centimeters
dilated.
Yeah. She's like, this is great. She goes, we're going to induce you tonight. And I was like, the fuck you are. I was like, that's not happening. And she was like, no, yes, it is. She goes, because right here in your chart, she goes, it says, if your cervix is favorable, we're to induce you because you're at a high risk for a stillborn.
Oh, and
I was like,
another terrifying thing.
I was like, wait, what?
And that was the first time you heard that?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
And she goes, oh, yeah, it says right here in your high risk chart.
Okay.
And I was like, oh, okay. I was like, well, this is the first I'm hearing about it. So I go home and I look at my husband and I was like, I'm not fucking going. And he looked at me and he was like, what? You know, Will.
Yeah.
He was like, you gotta go. And I was like, I'm not going. And I walked away. So everyone's calling him, are you excited? And he's like, I'm not excited. She's not going. And everyone's like, what are you talking about? I was like, I don't know. Stop calling me.
Yeah.
So he came in and he was like, why don't you take a nap and think about it? And I was like, I'll nap, but I'm not going. Because at this point, what they teach you in all these Lama classes, and we went to every class, is what they teach you is once you're at a higher risk for having to have a C-section if they induce you with the Pitocin.
Okay.
And I was like, this isn't happening. I'm doing good.
Yeah.
Why are we jumping the gun? How about monitor me? Like, how about we're going to bring you in the hospital. We're going to watch you.
Yeah.
We're going to watch you and the baby and make sure everything's all right.
Yeah.
So I take a nap. I wake up and Will's like, it's like, we got to go at 6 o'clock. So I'm crying. I was like, I'm not going. And he's like, you got to calm down. Like, we're supposed to be in like a Zen place and you're not Zen. And I was, so anyways, he convinces me to go. I go, well, Colton couldn't handle the Pitocin. His heart rate dropped it dropped 3 times. And the doctor said, if it happens one more time, we have 2 minutes to get him out. So I had the emergency C-section. They let me labor for over 18 hours. And then I had the emergency C-section.
And then.
So then after
We're
I had.
to you, Colin.
Yeah. So then after. So I'm so sorry for taking
time.
so much time. So after, I'm trying to paint a picture.
I understand.
So after I had Colton.
Bob Ross.
Yeah.
This is the person that was afraid of the microphone 10 minutes ago.
Yeah. Isn't that funny?
Yeah.
Isn't that funny?
I can't stop talking. Yeah. No. So after I had Colton, it was very like.
Dan, don't take my picture.
Yeah.
Don't look at me. So anyways, after I had Colton, I mean, I tried to breastfeed. I couldn't. I tried to do all the things that I wanted to do. Oh, by the way, they laughed at me in the hospital when I told them I had a birth plan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's weird.
I know.
They shouldn't, but whatever.
Whatever. But
that was the day she had him. Like, we were all terrified.
Mm.
And it was 2017.
Yeah.
I didn't cry for 7 years. I got sober in 2010. Didn't cry for 7 years, right? I wasn't, obviously with the C-section and stuff, it's not like the whole family is going to be like, hey, we're in the room, we're doing this. Like, she had to be recovery. Everybody went home. I went up to the room all by myself, walked in, saw her, immediately burst out crying. It was the first time I cried in 7 years. And then she put the